Good morning, students. Let us today start with lecture 27 of unit 6 of your syllabus, that is inverters. What is an inverter? A circuit that converts DC to AC supply is called an inverter. As we know that the process of conversion of AC to DC is called rectification, and the circuit which converts AC to DC is called a rectifier circuit. Similarly, a circuit that converts DC to AC is called inverter, and the process is called inversion. Now, the AC output voltage is of desired magnitude and frequency. Also, the output voltage and frequency can be varied according to the requirements. DC input supply can be taken from a battery or a solar cell, etc. Use of inverters. Inverters are used in variety of applications. As we know, like in UPS or standby source of domestic supply, and in industrial applications, inverters are used in HVDC power transmission, where in the AC end, the AC is converted into DC by controlled rectifier, and DC is then transmitted over HVDC line. At the receiving end, the DC is converted into AC by thyristorized inverter, and the AC is supplied to the end user. Now, the basic principle of inverter. The basic principle of inverter is shown in the block diagram. Here, the heart of the circuit is an oscillator circuit or resonant circuit, which is the heart of the inverter. This block is called tank circuit. It is built by using suitable power transistor and a combination of LC with resistor. L is inductor and capacitor with resistor of required value. The resistor, capacitor, inductor is used for building the oscillations and is called resonant elements. Now, DC is fed from DC source to the oscillator. Oscillator builds up the oscillations at the desired frequency at a low voltage. The frequency depends upon the value and the combinations of the resonant elements. The basic condition for producing undamped oscillations by the tank circuit is given by R square less than 4L by C. So, now in the block diagram we can see that this is a DC source supply given to the oscillator circuit, and oscillator circuit produce the oscillations, that is undamped oscillations, which are given to the step up transformer, and it gives the AC output. So DC is converted to AC using oscillatory circuit. Classification of inverters. Inverters can be classified in many ways depending upon the output required. First is single phase inverters, three phase inverters. Second is as per the method of commutation, line commutated inverter and force commutated inverter. Inverters by source, constant voltage source or constant current source. Now, inverters by connection, series inverter, parallel inverter or bridge inverters. You have series and parallel inverter in your circuit only. Now we'll see the first type, that is called series inverter circuit. This is a series inverter circuit. In series inverter circuit, as shown in the figure above, L and C are connected in series with the load resistor. L and C are connected in series with load resistor R here. Therefore, it is called series inverter. Now, mode 1. the working of this circuit. Capacitor C has an initial voltage EC. This mode begins when thyristor TH1 is turned on. This thyristor is turned on by an external pulse. Since TH1 is forward biased due to VDC, this voltage. Now, TH1 starts conducting and a current I flows in the circuit through TH, C, L and load. TH, C, L and load. So, this current flows. Now, because of the undamped nature of circuit, the current is not constant, but it rises like shown in the waveforms. We will see the waveforms here. It rises like this and comes down when TH1 is conducting. So, because of the undamped nature of circuit, the current is not constant but it rises like shown in the waveforms. When current is at the peak, the voltage across C is also equal to the supply voltage VDC. After this, the current starts decreasing, but the voltage across capacitor still goes on increasing as it is still getting charged. When the current becomes zero, the voltage across capacitor C is EC plus V, where EC is the voltage across the capacitor at the beginning of the mode 1. Now, left plate of the capacitor is positive, therefore at the point current becomes zero and the thyristor TH1 is turned off because its current falls below the holding value. Now we can see mode 2. Now during this mode, both the thyristor TH1 and TH2 are off. The load current is zero. The voltage across capacitor C is maintained at V plus EC. The voltage across L is zero. Now mode 3. This mode begins when thyristor TH2 is turned on by an external gate pulse. Since anode of thyristor is positive with respect to cathode due to charge on capacitor C, TH2 starts conducting, the capacitor discharges and the current I flows through the circuit in a direction opposite to that of mode 1. The current reaches negative peak and returns to zero as shown in the waveforms where TH2 is turned off. The above sequence of mode is repeated in the next cycle of operation where F is equal to 1 upon 2 into bracket T by 2 plus T off into bracket. These many hertz is called the resonant frequency and T is equal to 2 pi divided by under root of 1 upon LC minus R square upon 4 L square. Now T by 2 is the time period of oscillations. T off is the time gap between turn off and turn on of other thyristor. We can see here, this is the firing pulse for thyristor 1, firing pulse for thyristor 2. This is load current. This is voltage across capacitor and this is voltage across inductor. Now, second is parallel inverter. In these inverters, the basic components are inductance and capacitance, where capacitor C is connected in parallel across the load. Therefore, it is called parallel inverter. Now, C is connected across the load in parallel. Figure shows the basic circuit of parallel inverter. This type of inverter requires Figure shows the basic circuit of parallel inverter. This type of inverter requires an output transformer whose secondary winding Mn has half the number of turns as that of the primary AB, where O is the midpoint or center tapping of the primary winding. Now, two diodes D1 and D2 are used in the antiparallel to the thyristors as they are the feedback diodes which provide a discharge path for the capacitor. We can see here that this is the primary winding which is twice as that of the secondary winding. Mn is just the half of AB and O is the midpoint of AB. Now here two thyristors or SCRs S1, S2 are used, where D1 and D2, they provide the feedback path for the thyristors. Let us see the working of this circuit. When DC voltage VDC is applied between point A and O across the primary winding of the transformer, voltage VDC will appear across OA, where O obtains the positive polarity. Same voltage will appear across rest of the winding OB due to transformer action. Therefore, total voltage across AB will be equal to 2 VDC. Now SCR1 is conducting when triggered. Some current flows through LOA and S1. Same current will flow in the load connected across the secondary MN. This current is IL. Capacitor is charged with a voltage 2 VDC with polarity shown in the figure. The moment capacitor is charged up to 2 VDC, the anode of SCR1 will receive a negative polarity and will immediately turn off SCR1. This part of the load current constitutes positive half cycle of the AC output. With capacitor maintaining 2 VDC across it, SCR2 is triggered immediately. At this instant, now same load current starts flowing in the opposite direction through L, OB and S2, constituting the negative half cycle of AC output. Capacitor discharges through S2 and D1. By the time capacitor is fully discharged, the charging is reversed, and according to polarity, the capacitor, according to the polarity of the capacitor, this gives reverse polarity to S2 and it is turned off immediately. Again S1 is triggered and the cycle is repeated. AC output is shown in the figure. Now we can see this is the output, AC output voltage across the load. Now that was all in the unit inverters. Thank you for attending my lecture. Just share it with your friends.